It's Halloween and we're live. So funny. Yeah.
Hello
Welcome
and
to Luna and the
welcome.
Druid.
Yes, another episode, another Wednesday together. We are so happy to have you here. You probably can hear Karma singing. She's delighted to see you and meet with you as well. Tonight, we have a special surprise for you, which stay tuned because it will happen towards the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Um, But within the Halloween, within the special time we're in right now, what shall we discuss?
Well, of course we can discuss that in the talk with Julie later on in the show. We'll talk about a bit about the meaning of
Can you
Halloween and
spoil
everything.
the
Oh
surprise?
no! It's not a spoiler. But we can talk about what it means for ourselves and what it means um, in in your life. We as Luna and the Druid, we started actually with an episode about this time of year. A
Yeah.
year ago, time between time, Luna and the Druid episode season 1, episode 1
Wow.
was about the time between Samhain, Halloween, and the winter solstice. A time for introspection, a time for going within, a time for staying at home, working not too hard, enjoy the harvest of your
Mm.
life, and take a bit of a break from the busy life and everything.
What is playing in the background?
Up, up.
There is all sorts of crazy things going on today. Um,
Yeah, what's happening now?
I think we are playing somewhere. Our YouTube is definitely not here. It's on your computer.
On my computer. Oh, on my computer something's playing. Okay, I see it now. Yeah. Oh, it's gone. What happened there?
Well,
This is this is the day of the
this
trickster.
is the team of a day. This is the trickster day, and you will see later why. And we're not surprised to see
No,
any
no, no.
technical challenges. Again,
Yeah, it's the time of trick or treat,
yes,
and it's
and
the time of the trickster and treat.
technology is playing tricks, and
Oh, the whole
tonight
day, the whole
perhaps
day.
we should leave them some treats because we haven't. So that's
Yeah.
those are the consequences. If you see my hand moving weirdly, there is Karma here playing with me. Otherwise, she won't stop singing. And Anna, hello and welcome. It's so lovely to have you here. Thanks for saying hi. And it's great to connect. What are you doing here?
Don't look at me.
It's like just yeah, it's fine.
It's all fine. I know.
Anyway, we decided to talk a little bit about the card which scares most of the clients, where you
It's-
pull it on the table.
Yeah.
The card number 13,
13,
Major
yeah.
Arcana in Tarot, the Death card.
Yeah.
Why the Death card? Well, because first of all, it's the theme of the time we're in right now. It's all about celebrating that part of cycle of life.
Yeah. The veil is thin
Mm.
between this world and the world of the dead, and the death card is also very in line with the time of year. Uh, in the Thoth tarot, we have always a connection between astrology, planets, and stuff, and the death card is connected to Scorpio, which of course is the star sign that's
Yes,
active right now.
absolutely.
From
And it's
from
not even only in the Thoth deck that it's connected with Scorpio. It's connected in general with the Scorpio.
with the tarot, yeah, but
Yes.
not all decks are that obvious with it.
True.
Yeah.
True, but that's the knowledge of tarot. You study for years to know that. But some
Yeah.
decks will have an element of a Scorpio, the symbol of a Scorpio
Yeah.
itself, which we are in Scorpio season. And you know, Scorpios, one move and you're gone. And yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and what you see in the Scorpio, it's a water sign.
Mm-hmm.
When it's a death sign, it also means regeneration. And if you have death coming for you, you get recycled, you
Mm-hmm.
get water. So it's the essence of new life.
Yeah.
That is the essence of new life.
Transformation, because we
Transformation.
transform from one form into another, from the in terms of a physical death. From the physical being, we go back, we free ourselves from the prison of our body, and
Yeah,
then we go up and transform into pure energy.
yeah. As
Mhm.
people to pure energy, and the body decays and becomes food for new life.
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
Well, Scorpio is energy which goes deep. Scorpios love secrets. I have a Mars in Scorpio, so I know something about it. But also, Scorpios feel a lot, even though on the surface it may seem like it's the opposite. Scorpio feels a lot, every emotion, because it's a water sign, as Jan mentioned earlier. Scorpios feel deep. So right now you may notice that you feel things on a deeper level. You allow yourself to go deeper with many aspects of your life within the Scorpio season. And it's also a great time for introspection, going within, going deep within ourselves, connecting with your own essence.
It is. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And that's what the death card brings, the connection with your own essence, uh, leaving something behind and starting something new. And that's also what we see in the season.
Mm.
Samhain or Halloween is an Irish invention, and in the olden days, this was always the beginning of the new year.
Yeah, that
It
is
was
interesting,
closing
isn't
down
it?
the old year and the beginning of a new cycle
Mm.
around the sun. And you would start like uh, the start of life is in the womb. It's also in a dark spot. Seeds are dark and deep into the earth
Mhm.
before they germinate. So from the darkness isn't necessarily the life bringer, but from the darkness, life
Emerges.
emerges.
Yeah, absolutely. Magda says, busy times. I hope I can watch a part of your session live because I have my family staying with me. Hello to Magda's family. This is
Hi.
also my family. So, hello, guys. So lovely that you're together. And Iron Firehorse says, hello, Luna, Jan, and Magdalena, and Karma.
Yeah, hello, I'm Firehorse. So
Yes,
good to have you
so
here
so lovely
again,
to
our
have
dear
you.
friend from Canada.
Yes, Killarney, which
Killarney,
is
Canada. Yeah,
so
yeah,
hilarious, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
How
We both
many
live in Killarney. Never met us in
connections
Killarney.
is there?
Yeah, deep connections with her. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. And speaking of deep stuff, we mentioned this about Scorpio. Oopsie, something happened here. Yes, as we said at the very beginning, Trickster is very alive today. So if you see us disappearing for a second, don't worry, we'll be back.
We'll
It's
be
just
back.
the theme of a day.
Yeah, we're just in another dimension, clearing up stuff.
Yes, I think we got disconnected here as well because I'm looking at the screen and there is a pause here. I'm not sure what's going on here today. It's ridiculous, but let's keep
All seems good.
moving.
Let's keep moving.
Yes.
It's not as important. Yeah.
If you could guys leave in the comments, are we breaking? I would like to know if possible. Is it just me? Is it on my side? Because
Yeah,
on our screen, everything seems to be fine.
working
Sorry
fine.
for
Yeah.
the technical issues. Yes, but let's talk about misconceptions about the deaf cards, because
Yeah.
this is a really important part to understand what actually a deaf card means and how
Yeah.
we could connect and how we could learn from the deaf card and what we could take. Because the
Yeah.
biggest misconception is the deaf card means physical deaf. Sometimes, in rare occasions,
It can be. It can
of
be.
course.
But in all honesty, Luna, this card is actually the card that's pulled for you the moment you're born.
Yeah, death is inevitable.
This
It's
this
the
is
only thing which is
which is
actually certain in life.
that's we're all going to die. We're all going to die. We're all dying here,
Yeah.
and that's so
Well, I'm
that's
sorry, I'm living. I don't know about you, but I'm living every
I'm
day.
dying very slowly.
Oh, please don't say
my, one of my favorite saying is that oxygen is a slow working poison. It takes about 80 to 100 years to kill you.
that. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Thank you guys for confirming that everything is fine. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what, maybe that's something within my connection and here. But anyway,
Yeah, well, actually, there's this deck here above us. That's the Lightseer's Tarot,
yeah.
and I know the death card there is called Death and Transformation,
And death and rebirth.
Rebirth,
Yes.
Rebirth. Actually, yeah,
It's a beautiful card. Perhaps I could quickly grab
Yeah.
it and show it to you.
Yeah.
So you need to get up.
Yeah. So the death card in all tarot decks is definitely about transforming. It's about often saying goodbye to a phase of your life. You know, when the first life phase, the child phase, comes to an end, there is a death and a reawakening or a rebirth, and that's a lovely card. Yes,
Trying to
Death
remove
and
the
rebirth.
glare.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can see it.
you see the light coming from inside. It's like a star shining inside, but it's a process which happens within. Inside, it's not visible on the outer surface. It's something which happens inside of you, and I feel that's a really powerful image.
Yeah,
And the death rebirth, and there's also infinity symbol here as well, which signifies that we never die as a soul. We're infinite, we're immortal,
Yes.
and it's just the form we're taking.
Yeah.
That's what changes and that's what dies, but we are forever infinite.
Yeah, and that's what you also see in this card, where death, of course, is depicted as the Grim Reaper with the scythe, but it's also about conjuring up new life, creating new stuff. It's There's new bubbles coming from the bottom of the ocean. Very interesting.
And there she is. There was too much light,
Yeah,
too,
too much
close to camera, so
Yeah.
there is that glare. But there you go.
Is that a death card
This
too?
is
Yeah.
the death card from the Halloween deck I prepared for today. It's actually an interesting. I will. Perhaps this is not the best setup in terms of lights and the camera here, but as you can see, it's an image of a pregnant skeleton, which is very unusual. And she is praying above a little cradle here, waiting for the new to emerge, waiting for whatever she needs to let go of to grow.
And here we have a more transformative death card, where we have the Kaliak, the dark goddess, that collects what no longer serves us in her cauldron and transforms it. So it's a card again about transformation and moving on. And this one is from the Druidcraft Tarot, a very interesting druidic deck, which I probably should use more than I do, but we all have our preferences.
Exactly. Just because it says the druid there, it doesn't mean you have to use it. There are decks. There's plenty of witchy decks, which I won't connect with.
Obviously, yeah. Yeah. So, shall we do our little surprise first, or do you have something more to say about it?
No, let's go with the reading you planned, because it's
the reading.
Actually
Okay.
a really interesting way to approach a card reading.
Yeah.
I've never come across that one,
So,
and it's
we have
great.
the death card, and with the death card, we're going to perform a 3-card reading.
Yeah.
And what we do is, normally in these types of readings, you would put the death card in and shuffle and then look it up. I tried it a few times today. And I would be, in a worst case scenario, I'd be looking 3 minutes for the death card. So we have decided to do this differently. I have my card deck here. And Luna, can you randomly squeeze in the death card on its side, please, so I can find it back?
Yeah.
This is the one. Okay. And then we take the death card. We take a card above and a card below. The card below is what needs to go. The death card is the transformation, and the card above is what is coming.
I see the cards already.
You've seen it already. We have the Six of Cups as something to let go. Six of Cups, a very positive card. You don't necessarily always want to let it go. Even the name is very lovely. Pleasure. Pleasure, yeah. The energy of the Six of Cups is that it's not the Ten of Cups and not the Nine of Cups. So there is pleasure and there's still something missing. Sometimes I say this card, I draw it a lot for people who have uh, different living arrangements, like a lady with a dog, for instance, or single moms, or I even got it once for a person who was just about to start living together with a refugee, not in a relationship, but in a different living arrangement. And so what you have to let go in this card is that that everything needs to be perfect. Everything is already perfect as it is. And accept that things will be perfect in the end, but doesn't have to be right now.
To me, Six of Cups is the energy of reminiscing on the past, going back to the past.
It's nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, definitely.
Focusing on memories, focusing sometimes on how it was, and going and trying to recreate that energy, even though it's gone, because it's going through a transformation. Sometimes I see Six of Cups as the energy of reconciliation as well, especially if it's a relationship type of reading. And guess who's going to emerge here?
Here, our nostalgic little
Here's the
creature.
pure chaos today.
Yeah, our producer is interfering and saying, "Move on, lads, move on."
Okay. Grab her.
So
Maybe
we let go of the feeling of nostalgia. We let go of the feeling that we live in the past, and will we start living in the future? We have card number 20, the Eon, as it is called. In a traditional tarot deck, this would be judgment or the final judgment. So that's the big awakening for something new.
Yeah,
It's
the
actually
revelation.
the revelation. But I see card number 20 and 21 also, as I said earlier, from when we were talking about the death card itself, that we leave an old era behind and a new era emerges. So what do we pursue? We pursue the novelty. We start up new things. We embrace new ideas. And so letting go of the nostalgia and embrace new ideas. Start thinking about finishing your courses and start new ones.
Very funny. We had discussion about that today, and that's exactly what I said. I feel it's the time for me to finish up whatever and wrap up whatever I've started, but it managed to finish. And that's a wonderful time right now, with the day being shorter and shorter, with less and less light, having the fire on, sitting around the candles and just working and improving what's inside, rather than like it would be in summer, going outside, being very outdoorsy and enjoying that type of energy. I think it's good to connect with ourselves again and see what's happening there. And we had the conversation earlier on that it's been a really amazing year, very transformative. And now it's a good time to acknowledge that and pay some celebrations, because Halloween is not only about the death. It's all about celebration. It's all about reaping the rewards.
Yeah. And a year ago, we had our awakening.
Yeah,
episode 1 of Luna and the Druid, and we're
absolutely.
1 year down the road, and
Which I didn't even want to go to look at because that would be probably.
that would be horrible. But we had so much fun doing
Oh,
this, and
absolutely.
we have we both have grown, and
Mhm.
I thank you for that.
I thank you too. I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah,
It's just mad how the
it's
time
madness.
flies
Yeah,
and how many opportunities and doors
have
have,
opened for
have
us.
opened
Yeah, yeah,
because of that.
yeah.
Iron fire horses. Oh, Karma, she's a bit naughty today.
Yeah, she's very
I'm trying to
present.
keep her
She's very
occupied, but
present.
she had a nice nap before.
Yeah,
Because she operates with the old time here in Europe. We were changing the time last weekend, so she hasn't adapted yet to the new time.
yeah.
And that's what it is. It's another transformation we go through for those who have to change that time. It's
Yeah, from
always
daylight savings to
yeah.
normal time. We're back to normal time, actually. This is normal
Mm.
time. It feels awkward.
I
I'm
love
so,
that. I
yeah,
love that because it's a gift of an hour,
an
extra
extra
hour.
hour, yeah, which was
Even though it's
stolen
just
from us. They stole it from us.
yeah,
Our
even though it's
precious.
just an illusion, it
Yeah,
changes a lot within my life. It changes because it's really bright in the morning right now, so it helps me to get up a little bit earlier,
yeah.
which is great.
I think it's time.
Yes.
It's time for our big surprise. We met up earlier today for a small Halloween online gathering with lots of trickster energy with our good friend, writer and reader and writer, yeah,
Yeah.
Julie Embleton. So we're going to play the video now. It's lovely. Hope you enjoy it.
Yes.
Sure, my name is Julie. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I'm a meditation practitioner and I'm also a ceremonial cacao facilitator and I'm an author of dark fantasy. And at the moment, I'm getting ready to publish my 12th book.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Um, it's so wonderful to have you back. For those who have been watching us for a while now, you might recognize Julie. Julie was our special guest almost a year ago when we were talking about St. Bridget. So
Yeah.
I encourage you to watch that episode back. Perhaps we'll put it in a description box so you could see it. It was a wonderful episode. Julie is just a cauldron of knowledge about Bridget. But tonight we will talk about some dark stuff.
Yeah. It's Samhain, also known as Halloween. And
Ooh.
Julie, yeah, it's a scary time. Can you talk us through a few of the things that are important for you with regards to Samhain?
I love this time of year because it's the beginning of the retreat into winter. You know, the clocks have just gone back. Days are short, the nights are long, and for me, I love the whole atmosphere of retreating within. And obviously because it's the time of year of Samhain, they say the veil is thin. It's a great time of year to be doing work, ancestral work.
And she'll be back. We promise. There
She's
is
gone off
some
to another
problem with the
dimension.
connection. And there she is back.
Back from the
Here I
fourth
am.
dimension.
Yes, checking the other
Yes.
side of that thin veil.
I keep hopping in and out. I'm very busy today. Everybody on the other side needs to chat to me. So yeah, it is. It's a special time of year to me, and I love doing ancestral work at this time of year, passing and connecting with family members who have passed on, and thinking about my ancestral line and those who came before us. So yeah, it's a time of year I really enjoy. It's a very sacred time of year.
Yeah, super. Yeah, I have the same. I've been doing Samhain celebrations for over 20 years, and we also celebrate it in the Druidic tradition with a big ritual where we invite the Keliak, the Dark Mother, to be with us and to transform what's no longer serving us. So and transform what no longer serving us in the cauldron of wisdom And during the ceremony, the Kaliak comes to the ritual, collects the pieces of paper that we with the information of what we want to let go, and we set it ablaze at the end, and we call out the names of the ancestors, especially the ones that have left in the past 12 months, because some of these might have problems getting to the other side, and now the veil is thin. We can help them transfer to their final destination, and that's a lovely way of celebrating Samhain, I think, and it reminds us of because it returns every year, that the timeline is not just linear as we all think about linear time, but of course we live by days, moons, seasons, and years, and the year. Following the wheel of the year gives us a foothold in understanding where we are, and especially what's important for the time, like you said, to move within and stuff.
Yeah.
And within Polish tradition, we go and visit all the graves from our ancestors, friends, family, and people we've known. This is the way how Eastern culture celebrates that part of the year, and it happens particularly on the 1st of November, where we go to visit the graves. We leave some offerings, flowers, candles, a lot of light, just to honor them, and just to remind ourselves about them as well, and what we've lost.
Perfect. Yeah. So it's a celebration where we end the year, we end the cycle of the year, and some people say we begin a new year, which of course comes with the cycle. I, for myself, especially the time after Samhain, the until the winter solstice, I go within a little, do less work, do only what's needed, be a hermit. I've dressed up for the occasion already.
Here's that lamp.
The lamp is here, my hermit light, and I'm dressed up for the occasion, and and ready to spend some time between time. Yeah, which actually was our first episode a year ago. We've gone full circle.
Wow.
There you go. There's the wheel of the year in play now. The wheel of fortune. There it is.
It's amazing how time flies, especially this year. I don't know if it's just my perception, but it went like this.
Yeah. I'm the same.
We wouldn't be ourselves if we wouldn't talk about tarot. And
of course, that's what ties us together.
Yes. Julie, last time when you were our guest, you were talking about cards which connect with Bridget's energy. Can you pull and can you point out the cards which represent Halloween energy? Is that something?
Sure. So I have 3 decks here today, and these are decks that I feel are Halloween themed. And first of all, we have the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Tarot. And then we have the Dark Wood Tarot, and then Tarot of the Vampires. So I'm channeling vampire and witch here today. So I couldn't leave out the Tarot of the Vampires. So I've picked the same cards from each deck, and I'll just show you quickly the card. Okay, so I love the Magician at this time of year because it's a reminder that everything we need, we already possess. We're master manifestors when we work with Magician energy. And it's the idea, that whole idea of retreating within and taking a look. At this time of the year, I think we always have a look back, and there can be a lot of melancholy around this time of year of, the year's nearly over. Maybe people are saying, what have I done? What have I achieved? And I think the Magician is a great card to work with at this time of year, because it's all about, the skills and talents we already possess, and what we can do to manifest our dreams. But yeah, the Magician is that, we can go it alone. At this time of year, we have everything we need to go it alone. The next card I chose then is the High Priestess. And this is obvious. I mean, it's the time of year, the veil is thin, we're connecting more with our intuition, the mysteries of Samhain, of Halloween, all the spook. So I think the High Priestess is a great card for this time of year too. And especially if you're considering, withdrawing within and thinking about, where you want to be come the spring as the wheel turns another cycle. The High Priestess is a great card for that. We've jumped onto the Hermit. And the Hermit is what Jan is channeling today, except he doesn't have his lantern with him. This is a particularly beautiful Hermit card. I'm going to hold it up here to let you see.
Wow.
Yeah, that's from the Tarot of the Vampires. I just think it's fabulous.
I love that
I love
deck.
that card. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Again, the Hermit, time of year, retreat within. Think about what's been, what is to be, what is now. So the Hermit is a great card for this time of year. I think Karma always comes in as well at this time of year, and not the producer of the show. Hello, Karma.
The other
But
Karma.
we sit and we think at this time of year, what have I achieved? What have I done? And the Wheel of Fortune is often about karma and you reaping what you're sowing at this stage. So if you're at a position where you're not particularly happy with where you are right now, you have to sit and think, well, what did I do to bring myself to this place? So the Wheel of Fortune can be a bit of a waggy finger card at times, but it's another good one for this time of year. And of course, death, because we're transitioning into the season of death, and the veil is thin and we're moving into the winter season. But it's also transformation, because the land around us is transforming. Our thoughts are possibly transforming as we move into the winter. Like we were saying, we're taking our foot off the gas, we're cooling it down a little bit. So Temperance is the next card, and I chose Temperance because Temperance is about finding that sweet spot, and I think that can be difficult in the winter when we're kind of feel that we're stuck indoors and it's all darkness and long day or long nights, and so Temperance is a reminder to find that sweet spot between doing and resting, and being within and being without.
Finding the sweet spot. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
It's just such a good definition of a temperance card.
The devil from the Tarot of the Vampires, and that's quite a scary looking one. He's definitely got his Halloween costume on there.
Yeah.
And the one from Buffy is Willow when she was Bad Willow. But yes, the devil, because just that bit of wildness, that bit of fun at this time of year, and we put a little bit loose and push boundaries. The moon. I picked the moon because, again, there's that sense of things being hidden, the sense of illusion. And there's also the cloaking. I think the moon links quite well with the High Priestess, because, the two towers, the High Priestess sits between the two pillars, but with the moon, we have the two towers. And again, there's a bit of duality here.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with this.
These are mixed up. And then I have the Tower. Yes, the Tower, because again, it's about big transformation. It's about the shift. A lot of people really don't like the winter season, which is fair enough. And it's about facing the change of shifting out of the lovely summer days and being outdoors to being indoors. And it can also be about coming to the end of the year and realizing that things didn't go as we had hoped. It's a really powerful energy, the Tower. When it does come in, it's that kick up the ass, but it's another kind of winter Samhain energy. And then I have a few pips that I chose. So the Three of Cups, celebration. I love this one in particular with it's like the Dracula's three ladies celebrating. But it's celebration, tribe, linking with your tribe, getting support from the people around you at this time of year. And if you are making plans to move, into the spring and what you want to get done in the spring, it's great to lean into your tribe for inspiration and motivation, and also for support. And then the final card, which is actually one of my favorite, the Four of Swords. It's the Four of Swords. So rest and retreat. As I said, it's one of my favorite cards in tarot. And funnily, whenever I draw tarot just for myself personally, and this card comes up, it's always a sign that I need to slow down, that I need to take a break. I think it's an important one for this time of year. The Dark Wood Tarot is a very Disney kind of image. It's like Sleeping Beauty.
Absolutely.
And there is actually one more card that I forgot about, and it's the Ten of Pentacles, because it's about family, security, stability, but it's also about our legacy. And again, it kind of ties in to the Wheel of Fortune and the whole thing of what cycle, where am I? Tens are completion, just like the Wheel of Fortune. And the Ten of Pentacles is about where am I? What have I done? What am I doing? What will I be remembered for? Where's my stability? So again, I think it's another theme that comes in at this time of year
I
as
love
we as we finish the year out.
I
So
love the
they're my
Go ahead,
they're
sorry.
my choices for Halloween cards.
Yeah, great job. I really love the connections you made. I really love the build-up that you made from one card to another, in especially the cards with the higher numbers. There were interesting cards with higher numbers, as you said, Julie.
Yeah, and I love bringing Ten of Pentacles here to the table, because I wouldn't think of connecting Ten of Pentacles with that Halloween, but the way you explained it with that family connection, it makes so much sense. Absolutely. Because Halloween cards don't have to be scary. They don't have to be all about endings, because endings are new beginnings.
Yeah, and of course the Ten of Pentacles also represents the wealth that we gathered when the storehouses are full. At the end of the harvest, so it's the final result of the hard work is to have built a bit of spare food, spare money for the rest of the year.
Yeah, sometimes inheritance as well could be when we talk about ancestors. When people leave, sometimes they support us.
They support us from their previous life.
From the previous life, exactly. Perfect. So I absolutely love finishing that with Ten of Pentacles. Thank you so much, Julie, for that. That was super fun. I love your decks. We brought some decks, Halloweeny type of decks as well. You mentioned Disney type, so I'll start with this one here with the Villains tarot deck. This is the Disney type of deck. Very, very Halloweeny. I like it. It's good to work with, especially with a younger generation, because they love all the Disney movies, so they're very, very connected. And here on the table, I also have a deck which was gifted to me. Santa Muerte, which is a Mexican culture, Mexican style, Mexican type of cards, which I absolutely adore. And I love to use it and read it at this time of the year. And speaking of reading cards, perhaps we could pull one or two card, or even three.
Yeah.
While it's three of us here, the Tree of Pentacles.
The Tree of Pentacles working together.
Yes. Yes. So would you like to start, Jan? I can see some of your decks.
I have here a gift by a precious friend, the Azeroth Tarot. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
This is a very dark deck. This is a very humorous deck as well. So there's darkness and a bit of fun. And of course, I started with the Hermit, and the Hermit telling us to go for a time of introspection, to make up the balance of the year, and and to make sure that that when the spring comes, we have our lines when we have our lines connected. Yeah. Let's see if I have a next card from that one. Well, the Four of Swords, taking a break. Not too surprising that the same cards show up, even if they come from random. We have the time of introspection and the time of recharging our batteries, recharging our lives. And the Tower, like you said, it's a time of letting go and a time of bringing back stuff. The stuff returns after the tower collapse. We start with a clean slate, and yeah, and the eye in the sky.
I love this eye in the sky here. This is such a wonderful tarot card.
It is. Yeah.
So full of many other symbolism. I absolutely love that.
And finally, I have
Judgment.
the last judgment,
Mm.
the big wake-up call. The big wake-up call. When we're ending something, we're beginning something, and so we're being awoken to start a new cycle, and it doesn't have to start full speed right now. We have seen in the other cards that we can take a break, we can take a time between time, we can take a time out, but it's definitely the time to work towards and plan towards, especially with the Hermit energy, to plan towards a new season, a new year of personal growth, of inspiration, of teachings, and what have you.
It's a very dramatic judgment card, that one, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it's very
Yes,
dramatic.
Dramatic.
very,
Yeah. Very theatrical.
very dramatic. Well, I don't think I can add anything extra here. I just have some cards not specifically aligned with the theme in general, because they're all about here skeletons. This is the Hermit, he mentioned here, which is very unusual image because the Hermit is in a coffin.
Yeah.
So very, very Halloweeny type of cards here as well. I love the image of knights which are actually riding on skeletons
Oh, wow.
here. The only card I would add here is actually the Hangman, which gives us the different perspective, because sometimes when, especially within my culture, within Polish culture, this is a very time of changing perspective and looking at it differently at our lives, because when we visit graves and we reconnect with the ancestors' energy, sometimes we can see things from that different perspective because they're gone and we're still here. So in my tradition, it's a time of retrospecting and also celebrating life, because we're still here. We are still building our legacy. So yeah. I see here Eight of Swords, which is a very interesting image.
Yeah, it's from the Necronomicon tarot, a very dark one, inspired by the book, the Necronomicon. Very dark, very spooky deck. So it's a very Halloweenish deck, and of course, the Eight of Swords is about knowing, like in the Devil card, that although we seem to be locked in, there's easy ways out. There's ways out of us being locked in. There's transformation possible. Can you pick a next one from that deck?
Of course.
Let's see what we have there.
Ooh, Seven of Pentacles.
The Seven of Pentacles. Very interesting card. I have in the Thoth Tarot, I usually work with the Seven of Pentacles is failure. It's a very dark card where we see a barren field where nothing grows, and of course in a barren field the growth is hidden below the surface and below the soil, and it's all about patience, it's all about waiting, and it's all about putting in the right effort, or even having a plan B for when things go wrong. And the Seven of Discs is definitely about the plan B for when the vampire hops in and tries to steal your soul.
This is a very unusual image for the Seven of Pentacles.
Definitely.
It is unusual.
Yeah.
Shall I go?
Yeah, go on. Pick one more.
Ooh, Three of Swords.
The Three of Swords.
I'm not surprised to see it on the table. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. The sorrow card, the card where, in this case, we leave a victim behind and take off with our new love.
Yeah, very interesting.
So it's not about backstabbing, but front stabbing.
Yeah, and it also resonates with the Halloween energy within Polish culture.
Of course.
Again, because it is painful time when we have to actually face the loss. We have to face the heartbreak a loss brings with it. So absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Lovely.
Okay, that's fantastic. Shall we pull a card with an maybe advice on how to tap into ourselves and more to connect more with the energy of the time we're in at the moment? Perhaps I'll bring you which deck would you like to use, Jan? I'll be your hands here. You can pull the cards. Which deck would you prefer? I will use this one. Unfortunately, the table will probably move the camera a little bit. I just want to give it a quick shuffle. So what would be a good question, Jan, to...
I think 2 cards. One thing to leave behind and one thing to look forward to.
One thing to look forward to. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. First, what do we leave behind, and what do we focus on moving forward?
Yeah. With what do we leave behind? We have here Queen of Swords, which is very surprising to see what we're leaving behind.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, the Queen of Swords is ruthlessly cutting loose what no longer serves you. It's all about. I even call her the ruthless queen. I have nicknames for most of the court cards, and she's the one that just cuts loose, cuts ties with what no longer serves you. So with the energy of the Hermit, find what's your blockade, what's not serving you any longer, what's not helping you, or even what's disturbing you, and let that go. Let it go.
I love that. I am looking at the image of the card, and it seems like she's smiling here, showing the people who didn't support her before. It was like, this is your place behind me. I'm leaving. I'm cutting you off. I'm happy here. It's just my job is done. I'm moving on, which is fantastic. Absolutely. And we have here Page of Swords. It's interesting how they look like they would be a couple.
Yeah. Well, then she would be the cougar.
Yeah, might be.
What do you make of this Page of Swords here, Julie? What does the Page of Swords bring?
Oopsie, sorry.
Bring moving us forward.
Well, he's busy. I think he's looking at what he can. He's thinking about what he can start learning over the winter. And he has his head down, and he's kind of giddy and excited about a bit of time out to maybe pursue a passion that he hasn't had a chance to do over the summer.
Yeah. And it's so funny that when with the Queen of Swords energy coming from the past, he created the time to do it. He created new space in his life to pursue new dreams and pursue new ideas and to learn new things. So.
And I think also with the Queen, because the Queen is very driven energy, she's very determined, especially the Queen of Swords. You know, she's very logical in her approach to things.
What I'm also getting here from this card is he is writing. So he is perhaps planning. He's planning for the future, everything within the realm of logic. So planning, manifesting, creating things to happen.
Yeah. And we see the flowers. So he's patiently waiting the new harvest.
Yes. Yes. Celebrating the old harvest and also planning for the new things to happen.
That's a gorgeous deck.
Strategy. It was a gift from my dear friend who's an artist. And he keeps spoiling me with beautiful treasures like this. So it's lovely to have actually and both cards within swords energy, because it brings us to that logic, communication as well, but also ideas, new type of approach, energy.
Yeah.
Perhaps overthinking, even though we don't have cards in reverse here, but for some people it may be time of overthinking as well, over preparing, overdoing with the season of Halloween and Christmas as well. That's what I'm.
We're creating some flow. What was jumping out there to us?
7 of Cups flew as a confirmation of that overdoing. Multiple choices, multiple things, which is really funny because this card just flew out of the deck.
Wanted to make itself known.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think what the cards are trying to tell us here is just to be logic within our choices, within our actions, make decisions which make sense, not to give in into too much, because it's very easy at this time. Everything's so tempting. We tend to overdo with all the consumption side of Halloween and Christmas, also food, sweets, celebration,
Black Friday.
Exactly, overindulging
Overindulgence,
in stuff, alcohol, things which are not serving us.
Especially with this card, what I also see in this one is that when we are faced with choices, uh, always make sure that if a choice doesn't come from free will, for instance, if a choice is pushed on you by someone bringing in a lot of dogma into the situation, and I would say don't go for the dogmatic choices, but go for freedom of choice and go for things you choose yourself. So make it about yourself, make it empowering.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's interesting one, especially with having this 7 of Cups at the end. Quite surprising. And we are waiting for our beautiful guest to be back and pull some cards as well, perhaps, if that's what's in the cards, if that's what's
if it's in the
possible.
card that she comes back, or she might have permanently disappeared to a different realm.
Vampires took over, and there she is. There she is. Shall we give it a try, or shall
we just leave it?
I think I would just, before I get cut off again, say thank you very much for having me. And it was a pleasure to be here. And I can try to very quickly draw cards, but I might get cut off. Will I give it a go?
Yeah, yes, give it a go. Here you go.
Okay. I'm going to move into the theme of ancestors, and I'm going to draw 2 cards asking what message or guidance do our ancestors have for us at this time, and how can we best honor or connect with our ancestors at this time. I drew the King of Pentacles for what message or guidance do our ancestors have, and I drew the Hanged Man for how can we honor or connect with our ancestors.
Wow.
And I think the King of Pentacles probably represents, a male in spirit. Message or guidance is about manifesting, and that keep working, stay grounded as you accumulate your wealth and abundance. Don't get carried away with it. I think being grounded is really important when it comes to the King energy in Pentacles, because sometimes he can be seen as a bit of a greedy kind of a theme around it. And then the Hanged Man is the Hanged Man often represents initiation. So it may mean starting a new kind of ritual to try and connect with ancestors, or looking at a new ways that you can connect with them. So, about initiation, did I mention initiation?
Yeah, that's where we were.
And also, I think, as we were saying, at this time of year, it's about hanging back a little bit and just relaxing and not forcing the issue if you're trying to connect with your ancestral path, or don't force it. Be very respectful and kind, and move into that energy very gently.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Thank
Wonderful.
you. Thank you so much. It was so lovely having you, even if though it was in and out.
It was in and out.
And in and out.
An interdimensional show this time.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Before we close up, I just want to bring this one card. Okay, we can stay on this camera. It's funny because we had energy of sorts here. Julie, while you were gone, we pulled a quick card from inspired by your reading with the message of ancestors as well. And the message is "My mind is free," which wraps up the swords energy we had on the table here before. And it's important here to free our mind as well, to not go into too much of a thinking, because that time of year is great for reflection, but also we can overdo it with that 7 of Cups. So it is important to free our mind if it's being entangled in something here. But also, if anyone watching is worried about their ancestors in spirit, they say the mind is free.
And it is.
Yes.
And let's free ourselves.
Yes.
Let's free the three of us, the three pentacles. I'm sure we will meet again very soon, Julie.
We will.
Uh,
Thank you for having me. It was lovely to be here. As
It was
erratic
lo-
as it was lovely.
It was lovely having you,
Yeah.
despite the difficulties. But I think it shows the resilience and the stability, the persistent action.
the seven of discs energy,
Yeah,
and we persisted
absolutely.
and we managed through. Yeah.
We persevered. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. See you soon, dear.
We'll see you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Welcome
Such
back.
a lovely, sweet soul.
Yes, Julie is a dear friend of ours,
Yeah.
and I just love her and adore her. And it was such a great conversation, even despite the technical issues. We had so much fun,
Yep.
which you probably could see. I see a comment on the screen. T. Lynn says, interesting. One ancestral guide is shaman from past life. Newly identified guide is supposed from this life. Haven't determined how related.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that is true. We all have one shamanic guide. That resonates with my beliefs and what I know about that stuff as well. Well, we hope you enjoyed our little dressing up. Druid, two witches, or actually a vampire witch,
And the hermit.
Buffy, yes, and the hermit.
Yeah, it was great fun, lads.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you one more time, Julie, for finding time to meet with us today and read some cards.
Yeah, so many different cards, as Fire and Fire Horse says. So we'll call it a day.
Yeah.
We close off, and looking forward to see everyone again next week.
Yes.
Same time, same place.
Next Wednesday, 8:00. Thank you so much for being with us, supporting us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, now it will be a good
Push the
time to do
button.
it.
Yeah.
We send you lots of love and light in that sometimes difficult time of a year, where we celebrate life and death at the same time. Don't eat too much sweets.
And don't get tricked by the trickster too much.
And if you do, be patient.
Yeah.
It shall pass.
It shall pass.
Thank you so much, and big kiss. Bye.
Bye.